Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another review of Little Woman. This was a good episode. It's the second last one, and tomorrow I know is going to be great. But out of everything that happened in today's episode, I think the best parts was towards the end. When InKyung was on the news, and Miss I thought she was dead is not dead. So let's not beat around the bush. Let's get to it. To start the review, let's talk about JaeSang's death real quick. As he was eating the apple, there's a blue orchid right next to him, and we all know what that means. Death. And we see everything leading up to the point where he jumps off the building. Him walking to the roof of the building, and then we hear him tell SangA that he always wanted to marry her. He always wanted to live in a house with her, and he would do anything to protect her. So he did a pretty good job in doing all three. Well, 2 out of 3. Now let's get to InKyung investigating. She is the most productive character in this drama. It doesn't matter if Inne is trapped somewhere or Inju is in a difficult situation or even out of the country. InKyung is the first person to make a move. But anyway, she realized that she met Hwayoung before in 2018. And Hwayoung is the reason why InKyung had contact with JaeSang. And it was because of Inju that Hwayoung even knew about InKyung, and she was the first person to approach her in that flashback. Now, InKyung was doing her investigating after Inju informed her that there was a connection between the closed room, SangA's dollhouse, and Hwayoung's death because, according to Inju, they all gave a similar vibe. But then InKyung was kidnapped, tied up by Sapyeong, who at this point became SangA's lackey. But then we see the both of them on the news. So InKyung definitely convinced him that JaeSang was the bad guy, of course. But also, Sapyeong didn't want the name Jongnan Society to be tarnished. InKyung and Sapyeong were on the news explaining everything. SangA's involvement in the people's deaths, the blue orchids that were left behind. This is where Sapyeong explained the meaning behind it, and the fact that SangA has a big ass tree in her house growing these things. Now we get to SangA's plan in toying around with Inju and InKyung, but also her downfall. The first thing she did, arrest Inju, and then have people on the news point fingers at her, blaming her for Hwayoung's death, and of course, stealing the money. But then let's not forget, have Doyle and his mom involved in a car accident. SangA is such a evil bitch. I mean, that one scene of SangA visiting Inju in jail and threatened to kill her family. First off, props to Kim Go-eun and her acting. The screaming, the anger, the crying. Now during the trial, just when you thought things were not looking great for Inju, here comes Doyle and informed the judge that the money was actually transferred to a paper company that was under SangA's name, and he even provided evidence. Now, I shouldn't laugh at this, but it was really funny. When Doyle was explaining himself, he says, "I do not share information with a low-level, naive employee like Inju." I'm like, damn, dude, she's already in a bad position as it is. Don't kick her while she's down. But then during the final trial of this episode, Inju was telling the judge, "I may have some involvement in the money embezzlement, so punish me, but also punish everyone who is involved." And then out of nowhere, we see a person walking into the courtroom behind Inju. Everyone is looking at this person. They're shocked. It's Hwayoung. She's alive. A lot of great moments in this episode, but Hwayoung coming into the courtroom was definitely the highlight. It takes the cake. And I have so many questions. How? Why? Where was she at? I know she has like a little band-aid right here, but how? Why? Now speaking of SangA, she is way past insanity at this point. What's the word for past insanity? A complete nutcase? I mean, she lost her husband. She lost her brother. Her daughter, her only daughter, ran away and left the country. She's by herself. And in her own words, she's only living because of the pills that she's taking. She needs help. She really does need help. Man, I can't wait for the last episode. I want to know what Hwayoung has to say. I mean, she's been gone since episode 1, 2, I'm not going to include flashbacks. Yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much on the review and the episode. Is there anything I might have missed? Please leave in the comments below. Other than that, if you like this video, leave a like. comment down below, and subscribe. See ya!